Arsenal won, Monaco won, but Arsenal win 5-4 on penalties to lift the Emirates Cup in what is our penultimate game of pre-season, if you count the Charity Shield against Man City, of course, on Sunday. And overall, look, it wasn't the greatest game. Let's be completely honest about it. I don't think Arsenal were fantastic. I think at times even I want to say that Monaco outplayed us. I'll be completely honest about it. But the main thing is we got the result. And look, you can say Emirates Cup this, Emirates Cup that. I still do want to win matches, even if it's pre-season, because it breeds confidence. It breeds exactly what you want to see, right? You want to see your team win, get everyone confident, get everyone on the right foot, have a little bit of feel-good factor around the club. And of course, it came from a penalty shootout. And I actually like the idea of playing penalty shootouts. I know that the penalty shootout was going to happen regardless if we won or lost this game or even drew, just because of the fact that we, of course, want to see our team play more penalty shootouts. Because we're in the Champions League next season, guys, and you saw what happened last year. When we played Sporting Lisbon, we got knocked out of the Europa League purely on penalties. That was the only reason. We can't let it happen again. So I like the idea of having penalty shootouts at the end of the game. I like the idea that we won it. And Ramsdale saved the penalty, guys. I can't believe it. He saved the penalty right down the middle from Minamino. I actually thought Minamino had a really good game for Monaco, I do want to say. But Ramsdale saved the pen. We got the win overall on penalties, and we keep moving. I do expect us for that Man City game to play a strong 11, though, because I don't know about you guys, but that starting 11 surprised me. It was very weak. I mean, okay, no, sorry, it wasn't very weak. It was a decent starting 11, but Odegaard didn't start. Saka didn't start. Saka didn't even come on. What's up with Bukayo Saka? Was he injured? Saka didn't play at all this game, not even off the bench. Did I miss something? Obviously, we know Gabriel Jesus had his knee injury, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Hopefully, he gets back in time. There were other players like Zinchenko, for example, injured as well. But no Odegaard, no Saka. Really did surprise me, guys. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Definitely not to start. But look, I always like the idea of rotating a lot in preseason. And the game before your season starts, play that strongest 11. It worked last year. Do you remember the Emirates Cup last year against Sevilla, guys? We played our strongest 11 and they were cooking, man. I think we won that game like 6-0. Then, of course, we got through into the start of the season against Crystal Palace and we went from strength to strength, started like a house on fire, blowing teams away. So I do expect that game on Sunday, which I will be reviewing on this channel, so make sure you stay tuned for that, will be Arsenal's strongest 11 as we play Man City. It will be an amazing game. Genuinely, a really good match early on to play Man City with, of course, nothing really at stake apart from the Charity Shield, but mostly to feel each other out, a bit of a prelude to the season to come. But let me be completely honest with you guys, right? Game-wise, don't think it was the greatest game. I'll be completely honest with you. At times, I thought, you know what, a little bit boring, a little bit sluggish, weren't really knocking the ball around quick enough. But it's a changed 11, so I'm not going to be too critical. But at the same time, many will say, I feel like people use a preseason narrative to whatever suits their agenda. Some will say, oh, it's only preseason, result don't matter, performance don't really matter. Others will say, oh, when we win, it's like, oh, good, brilliant start to preseason, doing really, really well, gonna start strong. Me, I like looking at it in both ways, right? Obviously, results-wise in preseason, it's not the end of the world. It's not. But what it does do is it generates confidence. That's the main thing. If you look at it this way, right? If you lose a preseason game 6-0, do you lose any points? No, but the team gets a little bit disheveled. The team looks a little bit lacking confidence, and the dressing room it's got a bitter taste in its mouth. If you win 6-0 in preseason, you don't get 3 points, but it's up and everyone's happy, everyone's joyous. It's a good occasion, momentum's with the team. Do you get what I mean? I don't think it was a coincidence that we won all our preseason games last year, then end up winning our first 5 games of the season. That's not coincidence. You start as you mean to go on. You get what I mean? Like, you got to have sustainable starts. Preseason this year was not as good as last year. That's case in point, objectively true. Last year, we won every single preseason game. This year, yes, we won this game, but we lost to Man United. I think our defending overall this preseason hasn't been great. I'll be honest with you guys. Our attack at times has been brilliant, but I think overall our defense hasn't been that good. I'll be real with you guys, generally. But of course, a lot can change. And I do expect a lot to change. I think, let's go into the season, right? What do you think our strongest 11 is? I'm going to get into your comments, by the way, guys. Anyone that's new around here, make sure you subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the live chat. I'd love to hear it. Also, this special announcement. I'm also streaming on Twitch. So I've got YFootball on Twitch. It's streaming right now. So yeah, feel free to check me out on Twitch as well. Make sure you drop a follow there because I'll be streaming on both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously this year. We're doing all my match reactions on both pages. So that's really exciting news regarding this channel. But let's get into some of your comments. Luke tuning in as always. Thank you for tuning in, Luke. Nketiah is in the room. Your defense is in trouble, right? You know what? Good goal from Nketiah. Nketiah catches a lot of slack. And look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't think Nketiah will ever be the type of striker that Arsenal should have going forward as their number 1 player. But Nketiah can finish. You put him in the right place at the right time. He has got a killer instinct. I'll give him that. I don't think anyone could take that away from him. When the ball's up in the air, when the ball's in the right place, he will find a way to get on the end and finish it. That was a good finish from him. arrived at the right place, right time. Defender was sleeping at the back post, and he came in and prodded it home. Really smart finish, cultured finish. But the thing with Nketiah is, right, he doesn't have enough of his game. That's what I don't think he's a polished enough player. I do think Arsenal lack a proper striker. And I've heard people say two arguments, right? Some are saying we need a striker. We need a number 9. We need a Haaland, the Harry Kane type player up front, an Osimhen type player. Others are saying, no, we share the goals around. Saka chips in, Martinelli chips in, Odegaard, Jesus chips in. It's all good. Me, I think it's a bit of the both. I know you can say that's sitting on the fence, but genuinely, I think that's the case. You don't want a striker that gets you all the goals. You don't want to be dependent on the striker. But at the same time, you do need a proper goal scorer. You do need an out-and-out goal scorer. I made these points in my videos, right, guys, when I was doing Arsenal transfer vids. Tell me one team in Premier League history that's won the Premier League without one of their players getting 20-plus goals. It doesn't happen, really. It genuinely doesn't happen. Even when Liverpool won the league, I know it wasn't their striker Firmino getting the goals, but it was Salah from right wing. You got Vardy for Leicester the season they won it. Aguero all those years for Man City. Thierry Henry for us. Alan Shearer for Blackburn. Haaland last year for Man City. Any team that wins the Premier League, one of their players, their striker most notably, scores 20-plus goals. Who for Arsenal can score 20-plus goals? I've set that as Saka's, for me, his objective for next season. That's my objective for Saka. I said I want Saka to score 20-plus goals next season. Not 20-plus goals and assists, 20-plus goals. That's what I want to do. That's what I think he needs to do to get to that next level where he's one of the Premier League greats of all time, where if he can start contributing 20-plus goals and assists and help Arsenal win a Premier League and be that MVP on the way to do so, that's what I want to see us do. But I like the way we can share goals around the team. I like the fact that Odegaard will chip in with 10+, Martinelli 10+, Saka with 10+. But at the same time, I still do think we need that striker that will get you 25 goals a season minimum. Where if Harry Kane scores 25 goals, no one's sitting there going, wow, Harry Kane's done really well to get 25 goals. Nah, it's bread and butter for him. It's part and parcel. Same with Haaland. Whereas if Gabriel Jesus gets 25 goals, everyone's clapping him saying, oh my God, Jesus got 25 goals. What a performance. Same with Eddie Nketiah. We don't expect it of them. If you're Arsenal Football Club, if you want to challenge for the Premier League and Champions League, my opinion is you do need players scoring from all over the pitch. Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, etc. I agree, but you also need a striker that you can bank on getting 25 goals a season, and it's not like you're betting, and it's not like it's unlikely to happen. That's something that you can expect to happen season in, season out. A proven quality striker. The problem is that costs a lot of money, and do Arsenal have any money left this season? No. So the talks are that next year Arsenal will target a striker, whether it is a Victor Osimhen, a Evan Ferguson, Ivan Toney. I'm not too sure right now, but the talk is that Arsenal will target a striker. For me personally, I'd rather see, if Jesus is injured, I like seeing Trossard in the number 9 over Nketiah. Nothing against Nketiah. I know he scored today, but I really like the front three of Martinelli, Trossard, and Saka. I think it's really fluid. I really like how defenders have problems keeping up with all three of them. So that's what I would implement personally. I do think Arteta's more likely to start Nketiah just because every single preseason game, Nketiah has been playing for Arsenal. But who knows, man? Let's see what happens. Keep your comments coming in the live chat. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe so you do not miss Arsenal reviews. I can't wait for the new season, man. Back with the live stream reactions after every single game. My next one will be, of course, a charity show between Arsenal and Man City. And then heading into a brand new Premier League season, Burnley versus Man City will be the first game on that Friday night. And of course, Saturday, 12:30, TNT Sports, the new name of BT Sport, will be hosting Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. I can't wait to review that game as well. Come on, Arsenal, and I want to see us win a trophy this season, the Premier League or Champions League, ideally. I can't believe Ramsdale saved a penalty either. Yeah, look, big up Ramsdale for saving a penalty. Because look, Ramsdale's got a lot of flack from Arsenal fans, right? I think Ramsdale's a really solid goalkeeper. I genuinely really like Ramsdale. Now, if Raya comes in, it does become a straight shootout between Ramsdale and Raya for that number 1 spot. Because in my opinion, I don't think either keeper is bad enough to be a second choice. I think both of them can be first choice keepers, Raya and Ramsdale. So it's all about who's at the top of their game. And that can be a good thing because with competition, right, you can't get complacent. It's like I've made this point before. Why is Apple so good? Because Samsung's right there to compete with them. Why is Bugatti so good? Because Lamborghini's there. KFC, the same with McDonald's. You need competition to get the most out of your game. Without competition, you get complacent, right? Ramsdale knows if he makes a mistake, he's still going to be the starting keeper next week because Turner ain't getting a run in. Whereas with David Raya there, he knows if he's not at the top of his game, bang, Raya can slot in. Just like when Bernd Leno was in goal for Arsenal, he had a bit of a stinker. We lost our first 3 games basically, and then who came into the team? Aaron Ramsdale, and he hasn't looked back since. So with a bit of competition, Ramsdale might be forced to up his game. It was a good penalty spot save today against Minamino. Got a strong hand to it. It was right down the middle, but still decent stop. Let's see what Ramsdale does, man. Either way, I'm very happy with Ramsdale as our goalkeeper. I like his personality as well. Yes, he'll make mistakes, but he's not someone that will shy away. He's not a keeper that's very introverted. And for me, I think to be a keeper, you have to be very confident in yourself. Carry some kind of aura.
and be very, very verbal in your communication and be a leader. And I think Ramsdale does display all those attributes. And he's still a young player. Look, he's 25 years old. I know nowadays 25 isn't considered young anymore, but goalkeepers can play till they're 38, 39. I mean, look at Gigi Buffon. What a legend. He just retired like last week. And Buffon's been around the block for longer than I've been alive. Do you get what I mean? So massive fan of Aaron Ramsdale, big fan of himself. So yeah, I would love to see Ramsdale be a number one goalkeeper. But if David Raya comes in, I'm all for the competition, man. All for the competition. At the end of the day, I've got no loyalty to individual players. My loyalty rests with this football club right here, Arsenal. So whoever's in goal, whoever gets the best performances, that's all I wish for, man. And if that's going to be David Raya, so be it. If that's going to be Aaron Ramsdale, equally, so be it. Let me know your thoughts in live chat, guys. I'm getting through all the comments bit by bit. Unbelievable he saved one. Exactly, Scott, man. Exactly. Big up yourself as well. Tune in. I know it's very, very early for you in the morning. So big up yourself for tuning into the live stream. Hope you enjoyed the game, my friends. What a game. I don't know about what a game, Arissa. I think the penalty shootouts were more entertaining than the match itself. I think the first half at times was good. The second half I thought was dragged a little bit. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It did drag. But at the end of the day, right, it's preseason. You're getting your form back together. I do expect next week to be against Man City to be a really good game. I really do think so in my gut. I think when we play Man City next week, both teams will play their strongest 11 basically, and I want to see two Titans play each other. That will be very much a tactician battle between Arteta and Pep, because many people expect Arsenal, Man City to be the two challengers next season again. I mean, I know some people say Arsenal are going to fall off, etc. And maybe, look, you never know. Liverpool last season didn't even make Champions League, so anything can happen in football. Don't count your chickens before they lay their eggs, right? But at the same time, you're going to expect Arsenal, Man City to be at the top of their game next season. It's just what you expect. So let's see what happens next week. It'll be a really good opportunity for us to play Man City early in the season with no repercussions, no points at stake, just to feel each other out and have a little bit of a prelude of what's to come. Also, versus Man City going to be a hard match in the Community Shield. Yeah, I think it will be. Look, anything can happen, but we've got a good record in the Community Shield. So I fancy Arsenal to win next week against Man City. I do think that can happen. When Monaco scored that goal, I had a bad feeling about Arsenal, but they proved me wrong. It was a good goal. But look, our defending this preseason has been shocking, in my opinion. Has been shocking. I know it's preseason, so I'm not going to be too harsh, but I'm someone that sets very high standards. Look, I don't want us to give away easy goals. I always say, right, losses can happen in football. Wins, losses, draws, you can't dictate the outcome of that. That is in God's hands, they say. But what you can dictate the outcome of is what you input into the game. If someone scores an absolute scorcher from 30 yards, a knuckleball where no keeper on planet Earth saves it, you hold your hands up and you say fair play. But if it's like the goal today, where Martinelli is getting beaten for pace, when I've seen Martinelli, when it comes to attacking, beat every single defender for raw pace, yet when it comes to defending, he's getting beaten so easily, where he doesn't even try to win the ball back. He tries to block off the defender so tamely, so passively with his body. That's not good enough. When I see a free header in the box for Fofana, that's not good enough. Nothing against Ramsdale. He couldn't have saved it in a million years. Went right into the top corner. But I do think defensively, Martinelli's at fault for not stopping the cross and getting beaten way too easily, and the player's unmarked in the centre of the box. It's two worrying signs. And look, we beat Barcelona 5-3. I didn't watch the game, obviously, because it was so early in England, and I'd worked the day after. But we conceded 3 goals, and I watched the highlights after. Some of the goals were poor to concede. Let's be honest about it. The biggest thing you want as a coach is you want to be able to defend well. Coaches would rather win 1-0 than 5-4. I promise you when I say that. A manager would rather see his team win 1-0 than 5-4, because defense is the foundation. If your defense is solid, you build upon that. But if you're leaking goals for fun, it's never a good sign. When you start leaking goals, then anything can happen. Last season in the Premier League, we rarely kept a clean sheet at the Emirates. It was very rare that we did so. That wasn't a good sign. You look at Man City, right? They don't concede goals. Rarely they concede goals, Man City. I think they had a record where in 14 home matches, they conceded like 5 goals. It was a really good record. That's your foundation. When teams know they're not scoring against you, you become very dangerous. Very dangerous, because then you've got that formidable side to you. When you know you can defend well and no team's penetrating you, that's when you know that you're a tough nut to crack. And that's when you can sit there and go, that's a really solid team. Really good team. And that's what I want to see Arsenal have. We've got good defenders. Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Ben White. These are good defenders. Kivio on his day is decent. So there's no reason we should be conceding goals for fun like that. But like I said, it is preseason. Let's build upon it. I'm looking for a really strong start to the season, in my opinion. Which players could you think can perfectly play our midfield? Good question, Arissa, man. Good question. Let me know your thoughts in live chat to this question as well that Arissa stated. For me, I like the idea of Declan Rice in that number 8 position. He wasn't amazing today, but it was his first appearance, Declan Rice at number 8. But when we first signed him, I was out here on this channel. And remember, guys, because I record all these videos, everything I say is in 4K. There's receipts everywhere. Everything I say is broadcast to you guys. When we signed Declan Rice, I said, I want Declan Rice to play at number 8 position. I want him to be a Xhaka replacement. I want to see Partey, Rice, Ødegaard as my midfield three. I think it's the best midfield three we can have. And look, Rice today, he wasn't amazing. He was a little bit safe, in my opinion, but I don't blame him for that. He's learning a new role. How long did it take Xhaka to learn that new role? It's going to take time, guys. But at little times that you saw the link-up play with him and Martinelli on the left-hand side, making those overloading runs just like Xhaka was doing so, whipping it into the box. If Nketiah or Vieira were on their toes, maybe we get a couple of tap-ins from that. So you never know. But for me, I like the idea of Partey, Rice, and Ødegaard being the midfield three. I think that should be what we implement going forward. I don't like the idea of Havertz, Ødegaard, and Rice. I think it's a little bit too exposed for me. There's not enough of a transfer player. When I say transfer player, I mean a box-to-box player. It's a case of Rice being defensive and Havertz and Ødegaard being too offensive. There's no one in the middle to be that link from defense to attack. And I think Rice can be that player. Partey, Rice, Ødegaard gives us a bit more balance. That's what I want to see Arsenal implement going forward. So I like the idea of Partey and Rice in midfield today. Partey is a really solid player, man. When he's fit, he's a really good player, Partey. The problem with Partey is his availability. He's very rarely going to stay fit for a 38-game season. It's inevitable that you come to Man City at home next season, Partey will pull up with an injury. It's inevitable. And at the end of the day, right, you could be the most world-class player on planet Earth. If you're not fit, it don't matter how good you are. Like, look at Abu Dhabi, for example. He was touted as going to be one of the best midfielders for Arsenal, couldn't get on the pitch at all. Jack Wilshere, another example. Jack Wilshere, he played one game against Barcelona where he tore it up. Genuinely, Xavi, Iniesta, he was running rings around them. But the brother couldn't stay fit. For all of Jack Wilshere's good work, he could not stay on the football pitch. And that's why he'll never be remembered as one of the greats. It's sad, but that's the case. Thomas Partey, if he wants to go down as an Arsenal legend, A, he has to win a notable trophy, but B, he has to be fit for the majority of the season. He was never getting injured at Atletico Madrid. Don't know what's happened since he's come to Arsenal, but let's hope he can turn that around. And look, maybe the fact that Declan Rice in the team means there's less of a load on Thomas Partey, where he can stay fit, where he's not being stretched as often and being forced to play so many minutes. You know what I mean? Maybe that could help inadvertently. You never know. But for me, my favourite midfield three for Arsenal would be Partey, Rice, and Ødegaard. But I'd love to hear yours in the live chat. Let me know who your favourite midfield three for Arsenal would be. Because that's the thing this season, guys, right? Last season, everyone knew Arsenal starting 11. Our strongest 11, everyone knew. Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Ødegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus. That was it. No debate. No one thinking, oh, he should get in. He shouldn't be in there. That was our strongest 11, no questions asked. This season, no one really knows. I know some people are saying, oh, it should be Havertz in there. No, it should be Rice in there. Trossard should play, not Martinelli. Oh, it should be Timber instead of Zinchenko or Timber instead of Ben White. No one really knows. It's still up for adaptation. It's still up for however you believe it should be. It's your opinion based. So let's see what Arteta implements. I think I like that. Look, you don't want to be seen as a team that's too obvious what you're doing. You want to have a bit of options to you and a bit of versatility and have an ace up your sleeve where one game you do run Zinchenko, one game is Timber, and you can adapt to your opponent. I think that's very important. Like, look at Man City, for example, right? You don't know who's going to play. 1 week it's Riyad Mahrez. Obviously, he's gone now, but last season it was Riyad Mahrez 1 week, then it was Bernardo Silva. It was Foden 1 week, then it's Jack Grealish. It was Bernardo Silva, or it was Kevin De Bruyne, or it was Julian Alvarez. They change and they seem to get the same output. No matter who's getting plugged in, the same output is out there. It's like the system. Whereas with Arsenal, you knew who was starting. Like, if Saka wasn't starting, you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, what's gone wrong? Why isn't Saka on the football pitch? Do you get what I mean? And I think we do need a bit of versatility, and it helps because last season, some of our players got burnt out. Bukayo Saka, for example, incredible player, and he's absolutely fantastic. But last season, he was playing too many minutes where he got burnt out, man. That was just the be-all and end-all of it. So you do want to have a bit more versatility. You don't have a bit more options to rotate at times. I think it's a good thing. Genuinely, I do believe so. You should start playing FIFA and streaming. I don't know if you're a big FIFA guy, though. Luke, I'll be honest with you, I don't really play video games. I haven't played video games in like 3-4 years. Yeah, I think FIFA changed its name anyway to EA Sports or something like that. I'll be real, I don't play video games. That's just my be-all and end-all of it. I've been told to do Football Manager, but yeah, maybe Football Manager, maybe. I don't even have actually I do have a PlayStation, but yeah, I don't really play games. But yeah, I appreciate the suggestion, Luke. Do you think Arsenal will sign Elise or Man City? This is the thing, right, about Michael Elise. I'm a massive fan of Michael Elise. A massive, massive fan of that player. I would love Arsenal to sign him. If we can do a swap deal, Nketiah for Elise, I would take that all questions asked, man. I would take that, drive Nketiah to the airport in my Toyota Aygo, and I'll be happy, happy days. But here's the thing. When you want to sign these good players like Elise, you're going to have competition. Man City, Chelsea are interested. Can we stump up the money? Who knows, man? Wherever Elise goes, I think he'll be a really good player. I think Elise will be good. I'll tell you why, right? Elise is a player that reminds you of Jack Grealish, where he's not direct in the sense where he's going to run in behind, be very fast, but he's a very tricky player. He wants the ball to feet and he wants to just skill players up. And I think you do need a player like that every now and then. A player that can just receive the ball and go on a bit of a mazy run, take pressure off the opponent, off your own team, right? And force something onto the opponent. Because I always say this, I love wingers. Wingers is my favorite position on the football pitch. Like when I have a son, I'm going to make him a winger. I love watching wingers play because they've got a license to make mistakes and run at opponents. When you pass the ball left, right, left, it doesn't really do much. The defense is still static. They just sway left and right. When you run at someone, you're forced to commit a defender. And I think that's really important because when you commit defenders, when you try and beat them on one-on-one, it changes the whole complexion of the game. And Elise, just like Jack Grealish, just like Saka, is someone that will commit defenders, will not be afraid to run at a defender and beat them one-on-one. And I think we need that. Also, the set-piece specialist as well. He can score from free kicks. And you never know, man. Like, having a free kick specialist in your team is important because it could be defining. How many games are won by free kicks? It happens at least 2-3 times a season for each team. So you're going to need one of those players in the squad because for me, who is Arsenal's real free kick taker? Xhaka's gone now. He would be one of them. Odegaard, yeah, at times. But I don't think Odegaard's a free kick specialist, in my opinion. Saka, I wouldn't say is. Martinelli isn't. So who's really going to take free kicks for Arsenal? Let's be real about it. Elise can do. So yeah, let's see what happens. Go CR7 Ronaldo. Appreciate you joining the stream as always, my friend. The season starts from August the 6th. We need to prove a point there. Agree, go CR7 Ronaldo. I think that game against Man City is absolutely massive in the case that we want to lay down a marker and maybe let the football world know that this is what's going to happen. But at the same time, right, it's not everything. Last year in the Community Shield, Liverpool beat Man City 3-1. Nunes had a masterclass. Haaland had a disaster class. And look what happened 8-10 months later. So Charity Shield don't mean a lot. Either way, don't get complacent. If we win, don't get complacent. If we lose, the world isn't over. Don't sit there and start tearing everything up. Either way, just be grounded. Stay grounded no matter what happens in that game, but do put in a really good performance. Trossard is a must start. Yeah, for me, look, I'd rather see Trossard play down the middle than Nketiah. Just so I think it's very fluid between Nketiah, with Trossard, Saka, and Martinelli. I think it's a very fluid front three. I love to see that front three personally. I think it's incredible. Simon, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. It looks like chaos, too much change. Yeah, this game was a little bit strange. Fabio Vieira lasted 90 minutes. I'm not a massive fan of Fabio Vieira. I've said this for a long time now. I will give him one more season because, of course, he had an adaptation year. We've seen players like Bernardo Silva have a really poor first year, then really start to step up to the plate the season after. So let's see what happens. But for me, I think Fabio Vieira needs to hit pure gym, man. Like, look, I'm going gym, Fabio Vieira. If you want to join me, we can work out together, push, pull legs. We can build your upper body strength. I'm down, brother. Just call me up. Hit my email. My email's in my channel because you need to hit the gym, Fabio Vieira, bro. This guy's got no muscle to him whatsoever. So I'd like to see that happen. But other than that, let's be real about it, man. I think some of our other players have really stepped up to the play. And look, Fabio Vieira isn't going to be a starter for us going forward. Let's be real about it. If Fabio Vieira is starting games, it's a problem. It is a problem. Certain players won't be. They're just rotation players. And he has time on the training ground. I'll give him time because I think he deserves at least one more season. But at the same time, I'm not against ruthless nature to us. For example, look at Austin Trusty, right? Was out on loan last season. Now he's gone to Sheffield United permanently. We signed him and he has not played a single game for us and he's already been left to Sheffield United. And I thought he was a decent player out on loan last year at Birmingham. Birmingham City said they loved him. So, look, football's a ruthless game sometimes. And we overpaid Fabio Vieira. I guess Arteta wants to see that money get justified before he sells because he knows he's not getting anywhere near how much we spent for Fabio Vieira if we sell him right now. So let's see what happens. In terms of other outgoings, though, look, I made my video and you lot were saying I was being too harsh on Edu, but he's starting to make moves. Austin Trusty's gone. It looks like Pepe could be going. Oh, that is a contract termination, though. Other players, for example, Balogun maybe, who knows, Inter Milan pulled out, but you never know what happens there. Other players, Cedric could be going, Holding could be going. So who knows, man, potential movements. Lokonga to Burnley. Let's see what develops in the outgoings regarding Arsenal. RD12, appreciate you joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. It's concerning that play broke down pretty much every time Fabio got the ball. Yeah, this is the thing about Fabio Vieira, right? He's not fast. He's not strong. He's tricky, but he's not tricky enough to beat a defender consistently. What does he really do? Even if the end product ain't great. There was times where he got the ball in a counter-attack, right, in transition, and his final pass was just shocking, absolutely shocking. Right at the end of the game, right, Odegaard played him a ball on a play, and he just hits and hopes. It's like he tried to cross it into the box, but he didn't really pick out anyone. He just kind of put his foot through it and just prayed that someone would be on the end of it. That's not what you need. For me, if you're Fabio Vieira, right, or if you're any attacking player, you should know what you're doing with the football 3 seconds before you release it. But with me, Fabio Vieira, it looks a little bit like a freestyle. It's like he's still guessing what he's going to do when he gets the ball. When any culture player, look at Kevin De Bruyne. Watch Kevin De Bruyne, right? Before that man receives the ball, he's scanned, he's looked. As soon as that ball's received, more than not, it's either first time, bang, or it's one touch and bang. It's off to Haaland, it's off to Jack Grealish. He looks like he knows what he's doing before the game's played. He's a chess player, a tactician. He's mapped the whole game out before he's received the football. And that's when you know that's a really good footballer there. And Odegaard's like that as well. How many times do you see Odegaard where you don't even see the pass? He's got his back to play and just reverses it through. You remember that goal against Brighton that Martinelli scored last season when we won 4-2? Odegaard, back to play, bang, right foot, right round the corner. We score. One of the passes of the season. Odegaard saw that ball before he even received the ball. I think Fabio Vieira hasn't got that in his game. And look, you can teach that to an extent, but certain players just have that in their DNA. Ozil had it, for example. Saka had it. Certain players just have that in their DNA. The ability to just read the game before it happens. Really IQ-driven footballers. And I don't think Fabio Vieira has that. And my opinion is, if you're not fast, if you're not strong, if you're not tricky, you have to have that. Ozil wasn't fast. Ozil wasn't strong. But the reason he was one of the best attacking midfielders of all time was because he was a smart footballer. He knew what to do with the football before the football even got to his feet. You got to differentiate yourself from the others. And for me, Fabio Vieira does not have one thing where I can say he differentiates himself from the rest of the crowd. That's just my opinion on them. Like I said, it can be taught and he can improve, but I'm not seeing it. I'm going to give him one more season, but it's a ruthless game. If Arsenal sold him tomorrow, I will not sit there and be disappointed. Let's be honest about it. Let me know your thoughts in live chat. Fofana played well for Monaco. He did, and he scored a brilliant goal as well. And as a striker, you are judging your goals at the end of the day, and I think he scored a really good one. So fair play to Fofana. It's safe to say I don't want to see that Tomiyasu and Vieira link up down the right. However, I did like Rice and Martinelli link up. Yeah, I agree with you, RD12. I think Tomiyasu as well didn't really impress me too much. The thing is, right, when you know you're a backup player like Tomiyasu, it's really hard to come in and do your play really well when you know that even if you have a really good game, you're not starting next week. And I do feel for him a little bit because Tomiyasu, I remember when we first signed him, right? No one really knew who he was. We didn't know if he was coming as a centre back or right back. He's played a bit of everywhere. He's played right back, left back, centre back for us. And at times, he's done really well. He had obviously a really bad game when he came in against Man City and he gave away basically the first goal to Kevin De Bruyne. And since then, his confidence hasn't really been up there. But overall, I'm a big fan of Tomiyasu, man. Really big fan. So, yeah, I'd like to see him stay with the team. I think I want to see him come in as a rotation player. Never should start games for us, don't get me wrong. But I don't mind him coming off the bench for certain games or coming in to rotate when other players are injured. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Partey, and then your other point, Rice and Partey. Yes, I did like that link up. I did. It reminded me a lot of Xhaka, Rice, making that running behind into the half space, into the corner of the penalty box, and then whipping in. Rice had a couple of really good crosses where if there was a more lethal strike on the end of them, we could have got a couple of goals from that alone. So, yeah, I think that's going to grow. Obviously, it's the first of many games. I do want to see Rice play that number 8 position. I don't want to see him play as a CDM and then see Havertz and Odegaard. I don't think that's the right play whatsoever. I like the idea of Partey, Rice, and Odegaard for me. So long may it continue, in my opinion. Partey was blockbuster today as well. Yeah, Thomas Partey, I've never doubted that man, bro. I genuinely, when he's fit, he's incredible. The problem is he's rarely fit. That's the problem. Partey, you know, when you play Man City at home, Liverpool at home, the brother's coming out injured. It's just one of those things. The day before, Partey's injured, out for a couple of weeks. It's just inevitable. And I made this point before, right? It doesn't matter how world class you are. If you're not on the football pitch, that's what you need. If you're not on the football pitch, it doesn't matter how world class you are. You're not playing. You're not playing, right? And that's the thing with Partey. He doesn't play for 38 games. You get 25 games out of him. Maybe 30 if you're lucky. Do you get what I mean? Okay, evening, everyone. Mohammed, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Rice will get there. He still looks a little lost in the system. Yeah, this is the thing, right? And this is the point I made. When you come from clubs like Brighton, it's fine because they're used to playing possession football. But when you come from clubs like West Ham, they're used to not playing a possession style. They're used to playing a defensive counter-attacking style where it's a bit odd for them to play this way. And they're sitting there thinking, oh, this is a bit weird. We're playing very... Rice is sitting there going, hang on a minute. We've got a lot of the ball. I'm used to defending all the time. I'm used to running around chasing players. So he will take time to adapt. But I'm confident he can do so. He's a player that wants to learn. I've really enjoyed what he said. Obviously, saying's one thing. Actions are another word. Don't just speak, act. Do you get what I mean? Like, actions speak louder than words. But Rice strikes me as a really good professional. Like, he'll be captain of Arsenal Football Club one day. I'm confident of it. So yeah, I have no doubt that he will obviously look to adapt his game, spend time on the training ground, and if he really imprints himself on this Arsenal system and really wants to learn under Arteta, I have no doubt that he'll reach the top of his game and even further. Trophies, Mount Zero, Havertz 1. Well, there we go, man. The Emirates Cup comes back to Arsenal. Guide for how it turned out for Jack Wilshere. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So injuries can really derail players' performances. Injuries can really derail players' careers no matter what their performances are. And that was the case with Jack Wilshere, man. Because that Barcelona game, when I saw him run rings around Xavi and Iniesta, I thought we have one of the best midfielders up and coming right now in world football. Obviously, didn't materialize that way for no fault of his own, just injuries, right? It's just one of those things. Apparently, Rice was hobbling a bit for appreciation at the end of the season, but I think he's all right. Yeah, he'll be fine. Rice is a professional. He'll be completely fine. Don't worry about it one bit, man. Odegaard, Rice, and Partey for me, 100% Scott. That's got to be the midfield three for me going forward. That's got to be it. Difference between Arsenal and Tottenham's trophy lift. Arsenal look like they're at a funeral, whereas Richarlison lifting it is like the winning the World Cups them. Yeah, Tottenham won, what was it? The Tiger Trophy, the Tiger Cup, something like that. Bro, the guy scored a hat-trick in that game. Richarlison scored more goals in that game than he scored for in the whole of the Premier League last season. Let's just understand that. And he lifted the trophy like he won the World Cup. Kane's sitting there thinking, get me out of here. Harry Kane is sitting there thinking, get me out of this football club, man. And the thing about Harry Kane, right? I've heard rumors that he might even want to buy out his contract because he's that desperate to leave Tottenham. Arsenal, you know what to do, man. If we sign Harry Kane, that will be incredible, man. Obviously, I doubt it's going to happen. It's got, for me, it's a 0.5% chance. But just imagine the scenes. Close your eyes and imagine. Harry Kane, Saka, Martinelli and Odegaard, Rice and Partey. We're winning the league. Then Harry Kane can have a real trophy list at the end of the season. Not this bummy little preseason stuff that Tottenham do. But yeah, that would be absolutely incredible if that ever happens. I think Havertz would be ideal for low blocks, but Partey, Rice, Odegaard in the big games. Yeah, look, RD12, I 100% agree. I think Partey, Rice, Odegaard to start. And if you're struggling to break down a team, then throw on Havertz and do that. And that's why it's good to sign players like this. Look, not every single £60 million player has to start. I don't understand this myth where people go, oh, you spent 60 million and then they have to start matches. No, it's all about output. Certain players are super subs, right? That's just how it is. They could be one of the best super subs of all time. Look at Divock Origi, right? For Liverpool. When his brother started, he was crap, Origi. But every time Divock Origi came off the bench, he seemed to score for Liverpool. I don't get it. The man just suited for the super sub role. You need to have versatility. And I feel like last season, right, when we were playing against teams that had a low block, we couldn't really change the game. We ran out of ideas at times. Whereas now this season, at least we've got options where, as you said, RG12, if it is a bit of a low block, if it is 1-1 with 70 minutes gone, then you can throw on Havertz for Partey or throw on Havertz for Rice, you never know, and then play a bit more attacking and see what happens and try and break down teams. So it gives us more options, and that's what I like to see. Oh, yeah, that was funny, that Tottenham comment. In terms of today, I don't think Eddie was that bad. Yeah, me neither. But he ain't the answer, agreed. But I still remember it like it was yesterday when he grabbed the number 14 shirt. Look, when Eddie Nketiah got the number 14 shirt, I said at the time it was a mistake. Obviously, I said the same thing about Saka getting number 7. I hold my hands up. And Emil Smith-Rowe getting number 10. In my opinion, only one of those three have been justified. Saka getting number 7, fair play. He deserved it. Smith-Rowe getting number 10, undeserved in my opinion. Same with Eddie Nketiah getting number 14. They just haven't lived up to the billing so far. Eddie Nketiah can score goals. I don't doubt that. And in my opinion, if Eddie Nketiah goes to Crystal Palace, he will be absolutely fantastic. Like, if you play fantasy football, I don't really, but if you do play fantasy football and Eddie Nketiah goes to Crystal Palace, I implore you to get Eddie Nketiah as your striker in fantasy football because he won't be that expensive. Because I can see Nketiah scoring goals in a low-level club. Not a low-level club, like a mid-tier club. But if he wants to play games for Arsenal, he ain't the answer because we need a complete striker. We need a striker that can score goals just as well as he can get assists, just as well as he can link up play, just as well as he can score with his header, he can score with his right foot and left foot. A well-rounded, complete striker. And Eddie Nketiah isn't that. He just isn't. But I'll give that guy one thing. He can score goals, and fair play for him for that. Is Kevin De Bruyne injured for that game? No clue. With Pep Guardiola, I don't take anything for granted. I wait till the team sheets are out because that man, he will say players are injured. He'll say players can't play somewhere, and then they'll find their way on the team sheet one way or another. So with players with managers like Pep Guardiola, I don't worry about what he says, man. I just wait till the team sheets come out. South Africa women's knockout Italy. Big up South Africa's women's then, man. To be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really kept up with the Women's World Cup, to be fair with you. But big up to whoever wins it. Is it in the knockout rounds? I'm guessing it's in the knockout rounds right now. What, quarterfinals, rounds of 16? Fair play to whoever wins it, man. Who don't want to win it? I don't know. Brazil, I guess. Why not Brazil? My face when Eddie got subbed off instead of Fabio. Bro, how did Fabio Vieira last 90 minutes? And then second question to that, right? Where was Bukayo Saka? I swear he was on the bench. Saka didn't play. Is he injured? Has he got a strain? I know Gabriel Jesus was injured, but what's up with Bukayo Saka? He didn't touch the field at all. Very worrying one for me. Like, Bukayo Saka's a big player for us, man. I want to see him get on the football pitch. Let's see what happens. I don't want to brag, but I don't have muscles, but somehow I've managed to bully defenders. Maybe it's a case of the height. What is the thing, RG12 right now, yeah? You don't need muscles to bully defenders. Obviously, it's good for intimidation factor, right? But look at Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane is the best example. Sadio Mane was 5'7", and he would win. Why? Because he knew how to use his body. He knew how to position himself. It's not about how strong you are. It's your position. It's your angle. So let's say boxers, right? You can knock out someone, not if you have a strong punch, but if you punch in the right area. Like if you hit them in their temple, in their jaw, you can knock out a boxer. It's the same in football. You can bully a defender and win your 50-50 battles if you use your body in the right way. If you have good, strong stance, wide feet, don't get knocked over, really dig in and use your shoulder on defenders. Look at Bukayo Saka. That's a man that's been coached. When Bukayo Saka receives the ball, right, he pretend it's Ches defender. He pins the defender, right, and he gets his shoulder into the defender, then spins him and he's gone. And he's gone. Defender can't stop him. They bring him down to yellow card or they let him go and Saka's through on a transition and he's got counter-attack. How many times do you see Saka do that? Because he knows how to use his body. Fabio Vieira can't do that. A, he's not strong enough. B, he's not fast enough. But also, he can't really use his body. He doesn't look like he's built into his frame yet. But watch how Saka plays football because you'll see him do it. Gets the defender, pins him with his shoulder, digs his shoulder into the defender, and then rolls him, and then he's gone. And I think you need to teach players to play like that. And Saka does that brilliantly, man. So RD12, you're right. Look, you might not have muscles. You might not be the tallest or the strongest, but you can bully defenders. You said maybe it's the case that you're saying you're quite tall, but despite that, it's how you use your body. You could be 6'5". If you don't jump, you're not winning headers. Lisandro Martinez, right, the defender. Donny's 5'9". He wins headers. Why? Because he jumps at the right time. His timing's everything. Football is a marginal game, and if you have those little gains, you can cloud some of your defensive insecurities and your attacking insecurities. So Fabio Vieira needs to do that. My issue is I don't think he can ever do that. And I don't think he'll ever reach a stage where he's good enough to play for Arsenal Football Club. My opinion on it. I don't know why it's difficult for him not to use his body more. Who knows, man? Maybe he's just not comfortable using it. I'm not too sure. Tommy looked a little unfit. He did. And some of his passes were very stray, out of bounds, going out for throw-ins and stuff. Like, brother, what are you doing, man? Like, it's simple simple 5-yard passes. You shouldn't be kicking them out of play, but it happened at times, man. It happened. So, look, let's see what happens going forward. I don't expect Tomiyasu to start games really for us anyway. So, let's see what happens going forward. I mentioned this in my earlier stream. I actually see more of a centre-back. Tomiyasu, what is the thing, right, with Tomiyasu? I spoke about versatility. I feel for him a little bit because obviously when he first came into the side, he was doing really well. Many were saying, what a brilliant signing. For 18 million, we were doing fantastic. Going really cheap from the Italian league. Good job. But he's been playing right back, left back, centre-back. He's been thrown here, there and everywhere. And to be fair to him, Tomiyasu, he's not pulled a strop. Not like Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You know when Ainsley Maitland-Niles was playing right wing-back? He was throwing a strop, saying, I want to play centre-mid. I don't want to play right wing-back. He just looked unhappy all the time. Tomiyasu is the opposite. He always plays with a smile on his face, whether he plays right back, left back, centre back, or he's sitting on the bench. So I really rate that in a man. But he hasn't been able to lock down a position. It's hard, bro. When you've not got a consistent position, it's hard. Imagine, for example, right, that you're what's it called? That you're playing on a football pitch, right? And then your manager puts you right wing, then puts you centre mid, then puts you left wing. Yeah, it's hard because to train a position, it takes a long time to get really used to that position. And then you feel like it's your own. And then you get to a point, right, where you've been playing that position for 100 games, 200 games in a row, right? It's muscle memory. You play it on autopilot at times. Where you just know what you're doing because you played that position so long. But when you're playing right back, left back, centre back, it's drastically different. Especially right back to centre back. Drastically different to players. So I feel for him, man. He's the difference between Vieira's deliveries and Martinelli. That assist was brilliant. Oh, RG12, brilliant points. I was going to touch on this. During the game, I made a note to speak about this, and you just brought it up, so fantastic. Brilliant point from yourself. You're right. Fabio Vieira's corners, first man every single time, bro. First man every time. Martinelli, look, Martinelli's corners aren't amazing, but that corner, brilliant for the goal. And the one before as well, right on Tomiyasu's head. He should have scored Tomiyasu. It was a free header. Brilliant save by the goalkeeper, but it was right at the keeper. He should have gone for the corners at least. But yeah, two brilliant corners for Martinelli. The first one led to Tomiyasu, one that was saved. And then, of course, the goal came straight after. Really good from Martinelli. So yeah, I like in-swinging corners personally, though. But yeah, Fabio Vieira, not a fan, man. Look, I don't want this to become a Fabio Vieira hate club, but let's just be honest about it. This channel's for honest opinions. I implore everyone to leave their opinion in the comment section, whether it is a good thing, bad thing. I want to hear all the opinions. And look, I think we're all in agreement that Fabio Vieira, we're not a massive fan right now. We're just not. Vieira on coins out having Harry Kane on them in the Euros. I get you. Harry Kane's actually a good set piece taker. The reason I didn't understand Harry Kane being on corners is because he's a threat from set pieces. Vieira isn't a threat from the set pieces. Like Vieira in the box winning the header, I'll never see it in any day of my life. So I don't really get that. I didn't really understand that. But what I do get for sure is the fact that he has to take them. He just has to improve. That's the thing. Harry Kane taking them in Euros, that made no sense because Harry Kane, you want them in the box to score goals, right? It's one of those things. I think Trossard is probably the best at crossing the ball based on all his performances. Scott, you're right. Trossard is assist king. He is technically very good, Trossard. And this is the thing about Trossard, right? He's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, but he's technically very good. And that's why he stays in the team. That's why he gets minutes on the football pitch, because that man will get you assists and goals. He's very good, man. And Trossard on corners is brilliant. You need to find a way to Trossard. You need to find a way to get Trossard on the football pitch, in my opinion. So for me, in a charity shield, Trossard, Saka, Martinelli, run it. That's what I want to see us do. Should Jorginho become our penalty taker when on the pitch? Maybe. If he's on the pitch, yeah, I guess. But here's the thing, right? You don't want to have your penalty taker not be in the starting 11, because then it becomes a case where Saka's your penalty taker, right? But then Saka obviously, what's it called? Jorginho gets subbed on. You get a penalty. Saka's always a penalty taker, but then Jorginho takes it off him. I feel like consistency is key in everything. So you need one penalty taker. He's in the starting 11 at all times. 9 times out of 10, he will take the penalty because he will be on the pitch 9 times out of 10. That's what I would rather have. But if you want me to be honest, I think Jorginho is a better penalty taker than Bukayo Saka. That's my opinion on it. I meant at the end of the penalty shootout. Yeah. I guess so. Let's be real about it. I guess so. Purple Patch, appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. My guy, today was shocking against a B-tier team like Monaco. I get you. And look, you're one of those fans, right? And I respect all the fans, by the way, that on both sides of the coin. You're one of the fans that treats preseason like it's a real game, in the sense that you should be performing to your best. And I respect that 100%. I agree. I thought the performance today wasn't amazing. We were quite lackluster. Our play broke down in transition. We weren't really cutting them open. I thought our defense at times was poor. Like, Saliba was lucky to stay on the pitch. Genuinely, the first one was a yellow card, and the second one, he should have got a yellow as well in the first half. And look, if Ben Yeddo knew how to finish, we would have been 2-1 down. So you got to look at it at times and think, Monaco on the balance play probably were a better team. But at the end of the day, look, result aside, performance aside, it's preseason. It is. Me personally, I am in the camp where I'd like to see us perform well in preseason, because I do believe that preseason has an impact on the start of your season. I do believe so. I don't think it's a coincidence that last year we won every single preseason game. Then we won our first 5 games of the real season. So I am the opinion that you should do well in preseason and try to win those games. But at the same time, this wasn't our starting 11. It wasn't our strongest team. Let's see what comes of it, man. Let's see. I want to see the charity shield next week. When I see us in the charity shield against Man City, that's when I'll really start to have a proper opinion about what I'm going to expect from this season. That's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts live chat. I'd love to hear it. I could see that long ball from David Raya up to Havertz working. Yes. Okay, so really good point, Scott. Really good point, guys. If Arsenal signed David Raya, who would be your starting goalkeeper? Let me know in the live chat. I'd love to hear it. In my opinion, I'd keep Ramsdale for now, but I like competition. I really do like the idea of competition. So let's see what happens, man. But yeah, I really do like the idea of having competition with Raya and Ramsdale. But for me, Ramsdale will be the starting goalkeeper. That's just my opinion on it personally. I also don't get why people don't think Raya would suit being a number 2, but it's okay for PSG having Donnarumma and Navas. RD12, you're 100% right. But let's be real about it, right? PSG bottled the Champions League. It goes 2 ways. I'm going to give both sides an argument, and let me know in the comment section which one you believe in. Or in the live chat, sorry. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, let me know in your live chat. In my opinion, right, it goes 2 ways. Having 2 really good goalkeepers is good because you have competition. So complacency doesn't exist. If Ramsdale has a bad performance last year, he made a mistake. He knows he's still starting next week. Turner is not starting in the Premier League. So what does Ramsdale have then? A bit of complacency. I'm not saying he has complacency, but it naturally creeps in. It's just like Apple with Samsung, KFC with McDonald's. These are kept improving their game because they know that their competitors are hot on their heels. It's all about economic inefficiency, right? You learn in economics, in business, etc. You need competitors to up your game. It's the same with me, right? YouTube isn't a competition. I don't see any other YouTubers competition, right? But if I see a fellow YouTuber like RD12, he has a channel, right? If I see RD12 doing a really good video idea, I'll help RD12 and say, yo, bro, I really like this idea. Can I try and do it, etc. It's all about learning from each other and improving and like collaborating and competing at the same time, like positive competition. Do you get what I mean? And I like the idea. But at the same time, right, the goalkeeper for me is the most stable position on the football pitch. Your goalkeeper has to be stable as you get. When I mean stable as you get, right, your goalkeeper has to start every game, in my opinion. Obviously, you can rotate for Carabao Cup, FA Cup, etc. But the goalkeeper is the first position on the football pitch. They set up the whole defense. The goalkeeper starts, then of course you got the defenders in front of them. Communication needs to be A1 between the goalkeeper and defenders. If the goalkeeper keeps switching out every now and then, how are you going to have any stability? If it's 1 week Raya, if it's 1 week Aaron Ramsdale, you're not getting any stability. You're not getting any consistency. And consistency in team selection breeds consistency in performances, which breeds consistency in results. So there's two sides of the coin. For me, I like it. I like the idea of having it. But for me, at the same time, I can see it going wrong. I can see that a possibility. That's what I feel like Vieira needs to do to use his body more. Exactly. Yep, all about balance, 100%. Big up the Twitch. There we go. Twitch comment coming through from myself. I made this comment just to like shout out the Twitch. But yeah, I see some more Twitch comments coming through, so I'll be sure to check them out as well. Live streaming simultaneously on Twitch and on YouTube. It's a new change for this season. Can't wait for the new season, by the way, man. Obviously, next week I'll be reacting to Man City versus Arsenal in the Charity Shield. But then the Friday after, in about 9-10 days time, Burnley versus Man City, the first Premier League game of the new season. Live streaming a reaction on this channel. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned because you do not want to miss it. I promise you that. Tomiyasu is another one we could do with him in big games. But against the low blocks, where you need width, you want a Kieran Tierney there instead. I agree. Kieran Tierney, in certain matches, I like the idea of him running forward and crossing the ball. So yeah, I think he's a good asset to have on the football pitch. To be fair, Timber may have saved Tierney's career. We can hopefully play down his strengths. Yeah, there's a thing with Timber. Oh, Timber, by the way, I thought Timber had a decent game. I don't think he was amazing. I thought both Timber and Rice both went 9 or 10 out of 10. They were both just 6s and 7s. They're just average. Like, they were a bit safe. Nothing really out there, but decent-ish. You know what I mean? Decent. Like, they didn't really make any mistakes. They will grow in the team. And that's the main thing, right? So, yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see what comes of it. I do like the idea of having Tierney for sure. But let's see what happens going forward. I don't think Tierney should start for Arsenal. I'm not one of those in the brigade saying Tierney should start. Just because I don't think Tierney's got enough ball retention abilities to really start for Arsenal Football Club. I think when you want to dominate matches, which is what big teams want to do, like Man City, like Arsenal, etc., you want to make sure you have every single player be comfortable in the football and comfortable retaining possession. And I think Tierney's a bit too erratic, a bit too much of a case of give me the ball, let me run forward and cross it in. And yeah, he's good at that. But Zinchenko, you know, has got a bit more control to his game. Timber will slot into midfield, a bit more control. I think Arteta values that above anything. He wants game control, possession control over transition control. Do you get what I mean? Sir Elmovich, appreciate you joining the Twitch stream, my friend. Our first new Twitch joiner. Big up yourself. I don't like the comment though, but yeah, I'm not going to say it obviously because I'm not going to include any profanities on this channel. But yeah, big up yourself for joining the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. This performance wasn't great to be honest, but let's see what comes with the new season, man. I can't wait for it. I think it's got up to a point where Saka just needs to bury a pen so PTSD doesn't kick in. Yeah, I feel you, right? Because obviously he missed a penalty last year against what's it called? West Ham United away from home. And he also missed another penalty as well in pre-season, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it something? Vieira missed against Man United, I believe, but also I think Saka missed a penalty, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember though. I might be wrong, so don't quote me. But Saka definitely missed another penalty. But let's see what comes of it, man. I do like Saka on penalties overall, just kind of know he'll start games. And I think it's really important for your confidence to be a penalty taker. But let's see what comes of it. That's the main thing. I think, look, penalties are one of those things, right, where it is a confidence game. You're 100% right, RG12. Very much a confidence game where you get a penalty, you score a penalty or two, and you look like you can score the next 10. But as soon as you miss a penalty, that next one, it looks like it's impossible to score at times. That's when the real ice-cold penalty takers score. Do you get what I mean? I would start with Ramsdale, but I think Raya will win the spot in the long run. Well, let's see. Let's see what comes of it. Up the Denver Broncos. Hey, big up the NFL. It's coming back. It's coming back soon at NFL, right? Preseason is going to start in September. Let's see what comes of it. I think Kansas City will be probably one of the favorites. Eagles might be back. Let's see if they run it back. My team's the Steelers. I don't have very much high expectations of Pittsburgh Steelers next season. But let's see what comes of it, man. Big up the NFL. Massive fan of the NFL. We're going to get pressed a lot more next season, and it's going to force us to go long when in possession, and we're going to need somebody with pinpoint accuracy. I agree 100%, RD12. And the thing with David Raya, right? Obviously, I've watched Premier League, so I've seen him play games, and every time I've watched him play, he has impressed me. Genuinely not going to lie. I've only watched Brentford in big games, because that's the only time I'm going to watch Brentford. I'm not going to watch Brentford versus Fulham. Do you get what I mean? Waste of time. I don't want to watch it. You guys don't want to watch it. Waste of time. But I watched Brentford versus Chelsea. Obviously, I watched Brentford versus Arsenal. I watched Brentford versus Man City. So I watched Brentford playing the big games. And every time I watched him playing those games, he's really impressed me. His saves have been fantastic. His distribution has been brilliant. So yeah, really big fan of David Raya. Now, I genuinely, when Tottenham were interested in him, because Tottenham were very closely linked to David Raya, I said at the time, I don't want Tottenham to get him. Obviously, I wasn't worried about Tottenham competing for the title, but I know David Raya is a really good goalkeeper, really solid keeper. And having David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale does seem a little bit like overkill, to be honest with you. But at the same time, why not, man? Why not have that competition of two really solid keepers? Because in my opinion, David Raya could start for most teams. He could start for Brighton and be a really good goalkeeper there. And I think he could really help teams like Brighton, for example. He could start for Chelsea, in my opinion, as well. But I'm really surprised Chelsea haven't gone for David Raya, actually. Really surprised. I feel like he's a Pochettino goalkeeper all over as well. And the one position Chelsea don't have is a goalkeeper. I don't think Kepa's good enough. I don't think, obviously, Edouard Mendy's gone to Saudi. So, yeah, I'm really surprised, actually, Chelsea haven't gone for David Raya. Really surprised me. Good to see you live again, mate. I appreciate it, Scott. Obviously, the preseason-wise, I haven't done a lot of recording just because the games were in America. Really late at night, early in the morning. Didn't want to, obviously, stream and disturb my whole family, etc. And obviously, I've had work the next day, etc. But, of course, when the new season starts, the streams are back. Basically, all the big Premier League matches will be streamed. Obviously, Arsenal streams will never miss them, but also be doing big Premier League streams. For example, the opening weekend, we got Burnley versus Man City. At 8 p.m, the game kicks off. 10 p.m, basically, the stream will start. As soon as the game's done, turn on notifications, come straight to the YFootball channel, stream for Burnley versus Man City. The day after on the Saturday, got 12:30 Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest, stream straight after that match. The 5:30 p.m. game we've got, can't remember who it is. Let me pull up the fixtures, actually. Premier League fixtures, because it's a packed weekend. Genuinely, I think I'm going to have like 5 or 6 streams that opening weekend. All right, Burnley Man City will be streaming that one. Friday, 8 p.m, the game starts. Arsenal Forest will be streaming that on Saturday. Also, we'll be streaming Newcastle Aston Villa, 5:30 on the Saturday. Then on the Sunday, Brentford versus Tottenham will be streamed. Then a massive game, Chelsea versus Liverpool. We'll be doing match extra streams to that one. And then on Monday, Man United versus Wolves will stream after that game as well. So that there's going to be a lot of streams coming in the new season. This channel is going to get bigger and better next year. I absolutely promise you guys that. And I appreciate all you guys that have joined throughout the journey. Whether you were my first subscriber or my 3,700th subscriber, big up all yourselves. If Harry Kane does somehow sign for Arsenal, I would take it because he scores goals and offers what Jesus does. Play like Vlahovic does, don't do that, but guarantee 25 plus. Look, Harry Kane, for me, is the best striker in the world. I do think so. I think Haaland's a better finisher, but you're talking about a complete striker, Harry Kane is better, in my opinion. Harry Kane can hold up play. So Haaland can as well, don't get me wrong, but Harry Kane can drop deep and get assists. Genuinely, if Arteta asked, if you ask Arteta, who would be his perfect striker to have up front? I promise he would say Harry Kane. Obviously, he's not going to say that because he's not going to answer the question. But in his head, he's thinking straight away he's going Harry Kane because he suits exactly what Arteta wants. Exactly what Arteta wants down to a T. That's why when Arsenal were linked to Evan Ferguson, I dropped a video on Evan Ferguson earlier today, by the way. I like the idea of it because Evan Ferguson reminds me of Harry Kane. He does in the way he plays football. Obviously, he's still only 18 years old, so a lot to learn, a lot to gain. But he reminds me of Harry Kane a lot, Evan Ferguson. So let's see what comes of him. But Harry Kane's a fantastic striker, man. Absolutely fantastic. I feel like the signing one like Vlahovic, the output of the team will drop because the player can feel what Jesus offers and it doesn't adapt. Then you're scoring less with Jesus on the pitch. That's exactly why someone like Harry Kane would be in the team because Harry Kane can assist as much as he can score, right? And he's a set-piece specialist as well. He ticks so many boxes, Harry Kane. And he'll get other players involved. Look when Harry Kane and Son had their partnership, right? How many goals did Heung-min Son score? How many of them were assisted by Harry Kane? So many of them because of how good Harry Kane is. Like he's genuinely that good, man. So yeah, fantastic player. Let's see what comes of it. Obviously with the news, I don't expect Harry Kane to come to Arsenal. I do expect Harry Kane to go to Bayern Munich. I don't get why Tottenham aren't sending Harry Kane. Like genuinely send him to Bayern Munich already. Imagine he goes at the end of the season for free. Then he could go anywhere. He could go to Man United. He could go Chelsea. You might as well send him to Bayern Munich. Get your 60, 70 million, etc. and reinvest it. You're not going to win anything next year anyway with Harry Kane. So yeah, I would just get rid of him to be completely honest, man. Just saw you on here. I only saw his penalty kick saying, no problem, Jeff. I know you're a regular on this channel. Yeah. Well, you didn't miss much, to be fair. You probably watched the best part of the penalty kicks. So big up yourself, Jeff. I'm hearing Saka was feeling ill, which is why he didn't come on. Oh, there we go. Thank you for the explanation, RD12. Really appreciate it. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense for that one. Hopefully he recovers in time. If it's just an illness, he should recover. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Get well soon, Bukayo Saka. We need you back on the pitch ASAP. Jesus is going to miss a couple of games this season. Wow, really? That's a bit of a shame, to be fair. For me, then that Trossard has to start up front. Yep, Jesus 2 weeks. That's a bit of a shame. Hopefully he gets back as soon as possible. Luckily, when the season starts, it's a little bit slow in the sense that you got a game every week when the season starts. When you get to Christmas time and onwards, especially March, April, it's a game every 3 days. Like genuinely, if it's not a Premier League game, it's a Champions League game, FA Cup game. You have games every 3 days. But if you're missing 2 weeks, you might miss like 5 matches. Whereas nowadays, when the season starts, you play every week, right? So if you miss 3 weeks, you miss 3 matches. It's not the end of the world. Whereas missing 3 weeks in April or in Christmas period is like missing 6, 7 games. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, it's one of those things. Obviously, it's not ideal. You want your starting striker to start the season. I mean, Jesus was fantastic at the start of last season. But it's one of those things, man. That's why you have a squad of players ready to fill in. And regardless, with or without Jesus, we should have enough quality to beat Nottingham Forest in the opening day. We should. Let's be real. Trossard, Martinelli and Saka for the front three for me. 100% agree. RD12, 100% agree. Have a good evening, mate. Day off for me, but kids school run. I appreciate your stream as always, Scott. Hope you enjoyed, my friend. I appreciate your input. I'm going to start to round up the stream anyway because it's been streaming for the past 55 minutes or so. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that's tuned to the stream throughout. I hope you guys appreciate the quality as well of the stream. Not been lagging whatsoever, hopefully. Upgrading my MacBook to MacBook Pro, so hopefully the stream should be quality this season. No more choppiness, no more lagging. Hopefully it should be pristine, crystal clear audio, really good picture. That's the aim. So I appreciate you guys that's tuning in throughout, and I hope you guys appreciate the quality as well. Right to Harry Kane's chest, Kane over the top to Martinelli. Oh man, yeah, man. Let's bro, manifest it, man. Manifest it big time. But yeah, I'm going to start to round up the stream now. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. To round it up, Arsenal, Monaco 1-1 on the day, but Arsenal did win 5-4 on penalties to lift the Emirates Cup. Our first trophy this season, if you count it. I don't really, but some people in the world will. At least one person in world football will count that Emirates Cup. Either way, that rounds up Arsenal's preseason if you really count it, because next week on Sunday, this coming Sunday, Arsenal playing Man City in the Charity Shield will be a really good game, hopefully, to see how both teams play. The game will be shown live on ITV for those of you in the UK. We'll be streaming straight after that one. And then straight after that, the season starts. Arsenal's first game will be Saturday, 12:30 p.m. against Nottingham Forest. I will be streaming straight after the game on this channel, so make sure you stay tuned. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Drop a like down below so the stream gets out to more people in the algorithm. If you're watching this on Stop Coming to Stream is now a video on the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it. Drop a subscription down below on my road to 4,000 so you do not miss all the streams coming in the season and regular Arsenal transfer news videos. In the meantime, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. I hope to catch you all in my next one.